Oh, cool. Yeah, link it in the chat. I'm sure everybody will subscribe to you. And Missing Mod, what's going on?
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Howdy.
How is everybody?
Doing all right. Good to have you up here. So you're B.S. Lewis's friend. So that means we need to go easy on you, I guess.
I don't know if we're friends, but I follow him around.
Associate.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
What?
you're a stalker then.
Yes.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you're a Christian, you said. So can you tell us a little bit about your positions in regards to Christianity? Just wherever you want to go from.
I mean,
Well-
I think a good starting point would be to, as usual, ask, what do you think a God is and why do you believe it?
What do I think a God is? I have no idea. I mean, I just think that someone made everything, and my choice is the Bible.
Why didn't you choose
That's
anything else?
Faith I choose. Why didn't I? Well, I didn't know anything else. I know a little
presume
better now.
you do now?
I'm glad I was presented with that idea first.
Well, you do know other things now, right?
Yeah.
So choose
What?
something else now.
Why though?
Why not?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, are you an atheist, or do you believe, or what are you like?
I'm an atheist.
Okay, so why would you tell me to choose another one instead of just?
Why
not
did you choose
believing
this
at
one?
all? I already told you that.
Because it was first? Is that how we discern what's true or false? Whatever
Yeah,
we come
and
across
I
first?
really like the Bible too. I think it's really cool.
What do you like about the Bible?
Everything. It's old and it tells the story about creation, and
There are other older books than a Bible, and they
Yeah,
also
but
speak
what's your
about
point?
creation. Why not those?
what's your point, dude? Like, I like
My
I
point.
just
My point is how we discern what's true. I strive to believe as many true things as possible and as little false things as possible. Is
you
that
said
how you operate?
why did I pick that?
Uh-huh. And your
I
answers so far were
You said, well,
that
this
it
isn't
was
how we
first thing that
decide
you came
what's
across.
true. Well, that's not what I did, though. I'm saying I decided it was true, like, actually.
Can you decide that something else is true?
Why?
Well,
No.
if it's just a matter of decision, you can just decide that
Is it just
something else
the
is true.
Christian God you don't like? Like, which God do you prefer that I choose?
I prefer to know as many true things as possible and as little false things as possible. I don't think any God is real, so I don't believe things that I can't
So why do you have a
demonstrate
problem
to be
with the
true.
one I picked?
Well, for the morality and for the people who follow that God and vote for policies where other people have to live with them.
Well, what is I don't vote. So, I know that doesn't matter because most people
I don't think
do,
that makes
but,
your case, though. Other people,
Yeah, but I'm
people
saying,
believe our God like you do. And the
there's
second God as well.
there's lots of bad people out there that make like really bad decisions, but not everything they do just because it's misinterpreted or whatever. I mean, I think the guy that made everything knows what's up. And see, I'm not going to start making my own, calls on what I think he should have done, because I just don't do that, so that conversation we can't even really have. I mean, why would you care if it's made up anyway? Like, I'm not saying that I'm going to go out and commit genocide or anything like that. Like, what does it matter? Right? If it's stupid and not true, I don't understand like why it's only the Christian God that matters.
Well, you're here believing in a Christian God, so we're going to talk to you about your God.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why does it matter which God I believe in to you?
I would think you want to believe true things, not just any. Did you pick it because it looks the coolest? Because it has the coolest name?
No, because it was the it was the first God presented to me. Luckily.
Yeah, and do you think we go about life figuring out what's
You're
true?
about to say it. There you
Yeah.
go. You just said it.
What did I say?
Like, you can't prove God is real.
So why do you
right?
believe it?
That's where my faith comes in.
Just have a faith in something else then.
But But what do you see? That's what I'm saying. What the hell? You're all right. Somebody else asked questions. This dude's gonna not stop asking the same exact question. It's like, dude,
Well, if you keep giving us the same exact answers, then I'm gonna keep asking the same exact questions. If it's just a matter of faith, where you believed without evidence and reasons, you can just believe without evidence and reason in something else. Just pick something else. Why not? Why not something else?
So what do you believe in? What do you believe?
I believe that I'll get a good hand to win the next match in Pokemon trading card game next time I play.
Thank you for that. That helps.
Yeah, if you're gonna give us as broad of a question as these, then that's the answer that you're gonna get.
Well, where do you put your faith in when it comes to
I don't put faith in anything. I don't have faith.
Here? You have to.
No, I don't.
You absolutely have to, because
no, not at all. Not only do I not need to,
10 million. You weren't even here over 100 years ago. So how do you know?
I don't put faith in anything.
Well, okay, then where do you think we came from? Besides our parents.
Faith is justified or unjustified belief, or what do you define faith as?
I'm saying people have a real issue with the word faith, and it's literally something we all have to have. We have to have faith in what people are telling us. It's just the fact. I mean, you cannot say that you know what happened in the beginning when you weren't there. You have to have faith in what some person said and put in a book, right? Like you cannot
define faith though, because like to me, faith means unjustified belief, right?
Yes,
belief is not synonymous with faith.
Yeah,
absolutely. When a person tells you something and you go on their word, that's faith.
No, not usually.
No.
Necessarily.
Well, like the person exists. You can do like background checks. You can do
if someone we trust, it's justified belief. But
they can give you.
They have a real trust
because you trust them.
Yeah,
it's justified.
And you know why we trust them? You know why we trust them?
Why?
Because they have a history of being reliable.
People always. Every person has a history of being a liar too. Every person.
Yeah, maybe first off, not really, and second, anyway, I believe people that I got trust for, that they earned my trust because they weren't liars. I don't know how you go about your life believing everyone who lies to you, but I wait for them to build a rapport with me.
So you mean to tell me that you learned evolution from a person that you trust?
In school, yes.
There you go. I mean, it's still a person, right? And then not just that, but how many times have we been wrong in history? You know, people they don't even have to be lying. They could just be wrong.
I think that's a mischaracterization of the evolution discussion, because we have actual experts in the field, like lots of them in every single field that has provided us data on evolution. And it's been cross-checked and verified, and so we built up like a mountain of evidence in numerous fields from
what these guys tell you.
An uncountable number of experts. And
it doesn't matter. There could be 10 billion.
All points to the scientific theory of evolution, right? So there's a hypothesis that was made, and we have the data. The data suggests that this hypothesis is probably true. And so it's been turned into a scientific theory, which means that this is seemingly accurately describing the data that exists. Even if evolution were proven true or false, even if evolution were proven false, the data still exists. Well, I don't think evolution would be proven false at this point, based on the amount of data we have on it. I think it would.
But the data, who came up with the data?
Be like,
and who said they were
maybe a better way to explain evolution, or maybe it would be like the difference between like Darwinian evolution and modern day evolution. Whereas it's just improvements on the way that we understand it. But there is data that exists. There's geological data. There's fossil records. There's DNA. There's numerous fields of science that I could go on Google real fast and pull up a list of all the fields that are involved in evolution if you wanted me to. But there is numerous fields that
That's
provide.
That's the thing. You got to have faith in that.
No.
See, you keep getting all weird about it.
This isn't faith. You keep
trying
to
what is it? What is it?
Your beliefs.
So that's a justified belief, right? faith is not
No, that's
a
you.
justified
That's your
belief.
brain.
No, that's
You're
you.
getting scared for some reason. I don't know why.
you wish.
Dude,
Keep telling us
relax.
all that.
Who's getting scared?
Not you, Tacos.
Oh,
This other guy. I don't
faith
know. I
is
don't know which
not-
one's talking.
Oh yeah,
that
I'm
was
talking. I'm
pre-play.
saying
Okay.
Yeah.
faith
All right.
is
Not
not
you.
a justified belief. Faith is an unjustified belief. Believing in evolution is going to be knowledge, right? So that's going to incorporate a justified true belief, because not only is it justified to believe in evolution, it's seemingly true. It seems to cohere with reality. We've labeled it as justified true belief. It seems to be knowledge. Knowledge is fallible.
This is what I'm saying.
But
is you guys have a bunch of people with
knowledge
educated,
were fallible, right?
Educated, smart people, scientists, millions of them probably, but their conclusions are their conclusions. You guys have to have faith in that.
No,
right?
that's not what we've got, and
it's exactly the same. You know,
it's
it is.
Not.
It is
do you
exactly.
Know, do you know what a
There's
scientific
prophets
paper
of the
is?
Bible and prophets
do you know what
of
a
science. Is the way I look at it. And it's weird that people that are so super advanced in intelligence, they would call anything in science a theory, when everybody knows.
Do you know what a
theory
scientific
means
paper is?
Yes, absolutely.
What is it?
Piece of paper. It's words on paper. Like
what it
you guys say, a book said a thing.
Describing in detail their methods and their observations so that other people can repeat them. Science is repeatable. We didn't come up with the data. We observed them. Yes, we can. They have been, because it's verifiable. I don't have to. I'm not an expert in the field.
Of course you don't have to, because you have faith in what they're saying.
Did.
I mean, I remember in high school doing some experiments that have been done before. Repeating them. So
I believe a lot of science. There's a lot of science that's
so how come you only
nails
pick
it?
The science that doesn't contradict your holy
because
book?
I picked the stuff. I have a different faith. I don't believe
you
that
have
we
faith,
didn't have a creator. I feel like something made all this because it works good together.
It doesn't.
Everything. It doesn't. Okay.
No.
Here's the thing.
Think it's finely tuned?
It's pretty badass. I mean, you got to admit. It's pretty badass. I mean, the Earth takes care of itself. The only thing here hurting Earth is us. I mean,
so
everything else does things good for nature. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so so you believe that God created all of existence? Is that a correct assumption?
Well, reality and Earth and the animals and all that, yeah.
All of existence.
What we're doing he didn't.
We just need a yes or no.
Well, hold on. So if God, hold on a second. Can you turn that down? Sorry.
No, you're good.
So if God created all of existence, then there's no objective reality. It's only subjective because it's contingent upon his mind.
Okay, objective and subjective. I got to remember what that means.
Objective means mind independent, and subjective means mind dependent.
Okay.
So here's the thing. If reality is ultimately subjective, there's no objective standard by which we can determine what is true. So reason works by identifying the nature of things as they actually are. But if things are fundamentally just God's thoughts made manifest, then we're not really reasoning about objective reality. We're just trying to guess the contents of God's mind. So we can't validate our reasoning by checking it against objective reality, because there is no objective reality, only God's subjective creation. So if God created everything, then there's no real logical way to actually make any arguments, because an argument requires an argument necessarily presupposes that there is an objective reality to make arguments about. Does that make sense?
Okay. I thought I knew what you were saying, but that last part kind of confused me a little bit, because
I'm not sure everything you're saying is correct, just so you know. So like if this was a solipsistic reality and I was the only one that exists, I'm still able to, and everything's a product of my mind, I'm still able to make arguments.
Yeah.
I mean, not valid arguments, ultimately, because they would ultimately be entirely subjective.
It wouldn't matter, though, is what I'm
Sound.
saying. But, like, if this was a God mind, if this universe was in a God mind, and idealism was true, or some form of idealism was true, and it was like a divine conceptualistic reality, you could still make arguments, and they would still, you could still have knowledge. You would, well, it wouldn't really work because there's,
But
like, I get it wouldn't work, but I'm saying,
it wouldn't be
like,
it
if
wouldn't really-
somehow a god could replace the fundamental thing, which it couldn't, but if it could, you could still have knowledge, right? And so if a god was an acceptable substitute for the necessary being, which once again it is not, it is eliminated through very easy logical analysis to do. But if it was possible, you could have knowledge in that hypothetical case, right? And
I don't think so.
Because it would cohere with the seeming reality around you, right? And you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between that, like, idealistic reality and the actual reality that exists. But the problem is that that's not even, like, conceptually possible, I don't think, because it would just be an incoherent mess, right? But, like, we actually have a grounding to reality now.
I think we should get back on to being linear with this discussion.
Won't do anything he says.
No, hilarious.
I'll
take offense to that.
Look, I don't want to fight with you. You're being kind of rude, though. Like, you know.
Hey, you were being kind of nice, combative.
Like, yeah, well, I mean, you know, I was terrified coming in here.
I mean,
oh, my bad.
I was talking about talking to Free.
Thank you.
But anyway, but like as I was saying, if reality is entirely subjective, then there's no objective standard for truth. Ultimately, what's true is whatever conforms to God's consciousness, not what conforms to independent reality. So,
well, again, not necessarily. If
really
God created reality outside of his mind, that it's not in his mind anymore.
But if he's able to use his mind to create reality, it's still ultimately contingent upon his mind.
Not if it's already created, is it?
Well, then he wouldn't have created it.
No, he would have specifically created it. It has been created. It is now created.
Yeah, and then it would have been a product of his mind.
Yeah, but it's no longer in his mind.
Yeah, but still a product of his mind.
Yeah, but it's subjective. Not in his mind anymore, and it's not subjective.
Yeah, it would still be subjective because it's a product of his mind.
You're talking about, like what you're talking about might work if you're talking about, like, an argument. Excuse me, sorry, I have a cold today. But talking about, like, objective morality and why that would be subjective by nature, but it wouldn't. I don't think it would matter at all for knowledge. Like even if everything was totally random and we got to here today and we were able to acquire knowledge and reason, we would still have knowledge and reason, right?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm just telling 8-bit, like, even if we were able to acquire knowledge and reason in a totally random environment, we would still have acquired knowledge and reason in a totally random environment.
I mean, it would still ultimately just be illusory, because sure, it may operate by what appears to be consistency, but it's just the arbitrary rules that God would have established. So it would, you know, it may be practical,
matter, right? Is what we're saying.
It would be practical, but it wouldn't be genuine knowledge, you know.
I don't think that just because something can change reality with its mind, it means that it's in his mind, as opposed
I never
to being...
said it's inside of his mind, though. My point is that it's contingent upon his mind.
I think we want to argue with you.
None of that would matter, right?
Yeah, like whether it's in his mind or outside of it, it is irrelevant to the idea that.
Well, the point I'm making is that the argument that you're using doesn't actually work, and you're trying to say it does work, and then Free Play is jumping in and saying, no, this is why it doesn't work, and then you're jumping back in and saying it does work, but it really doesn't work, right? And if you're on the stage, you need to understand what we're saying, right?
Like the point would be, surely God, let's say God can change reality whenever he wants. So we might have a knowledge about something and it will be justified and true, of course, but then later on he changes it and it's no longer knowledge. Or also or never was.
The reasoning would break down.
But when it was. And it was objectively.
Like regardless of the situation you're in, if you're able to acquire knowledge, you still have knowledge.
It would look like knowledge, but it wouldn't really be genuine knowledge, though.
It would be.
It would be until it wouldn't be, because he specifically changed it.
Knowledge doesn't require a physicalist ontology. Knowledge is devoid of ontology.
Yeah, so I would like to go back to the argument. I think Christianity is true because that was the first religion that I was exposed to.
That's not what I said.
What about everyone else who was born somewhere else?
But you keep saying that. That's not what I said.
Say that again then. How am I misunderstanding you?
You said, why did I pick Christianity? I said, because it was the first thing, first one of the religions or whatever, first option told to me. Lucky me, That's what I said. I never said anything about truth. That came from you. Hello, Sevens.
Okay, yeah, because I can't make that connection. Why did you pick it? And then you don't think it's true? Also,
that's where I put my faith.
And it's not true.
Look. You're the one that used the word "picked."
No, you specifically used it just a moment ago.
I repeated what you asked me. Why did I pick this one? I said because it was the first one, presented to me. Obviously, if it's the first one, I didn't have a group to pick out of.
You could have not chosen that one at all.
Oh, you want me to go back? You got a time machine?
You can change your mind now.
But I'm not going to, because
why not?
I think that this faith is what I like. It's what I know, and I like, and I like.
Okay, so it's not that it's true. It's that you like it, and it was first.
My faith.
Regardless if it's true.
Too. Remember, we just did this whole thing.
We've been over this. We don't have faith.
Well, we're about to.
We've got evidence and repeatable.
Because I still believe that you guys have faith. You have to have faith in what the people are concluding. What they're writing down on these sheets of really important paper. The things they're writing down on these really important sheets of paper are their conclusions of the evidence.
What's Christianity about?
Are their conclusions of the evidence. You have to have faith in their conclusions being correct.
No, we need to be convinced.
Well then, I don't know. We can't even argue about it because we don't have common ground. Like if you're going to not admit that people are concluding on these things and they're writing it down, they're having assholes freaking, say, sure, it's true. Okay, I believe that. That's what makes it science, right? Like, I mean, you have to have faith that these human beings are telling you it. My religion has nothing to do with it. That's where I have my faith. I admit.
Do you think your religion is true?
Oh, Lord. I have faith it is, yeah.
So you think it is true?
Yeah.
So
are you going to ask me why I picked it again?
Why do you think it's true?
Because that's where I have my faith. Like, come on.
Yeah,
This
but
is
like,
gonna get, this
Yeah,
is
so
gonna get
just
like
have
so
faith in
old
something
so
else.
fast.
If it doesn't require
Why?
anything else than
Would you
having
leave me
faith.
alone then? Would
I
you
mean,
not ask me any more
You
questions
came
because you just
here.
don't like the Christian God? I mean, I
You
run
came
into that
here
all
to
the
answer
time, bro.
questions. This is a debate.
Yeah, but you're asking the same one.
Because you're
And
giving
you're
the same
asking it
answers
again. And you
again.
keep saying, why
Just
don't you
have
choose
faith in
another one? And I
something
say,
else.
because I don't want to. Let's move on.
What
Like, why
I
do you keep
hear,
doing that?
what I'm hearing
I know
is
I'm right.
that you're saying that you have faith, but you, and then you're saying that you, Missing Mod, have faith.
Yes.
But you're also saying that us as a panel have faith in the same way that you do. You're saying that you believe that it's true. So you have an unjustified belief that from the way I understand this, you have an unjustified belief that you're deeming as true. And he's asking you, well, how do you know that this unjustified belief coheres with reality, right?
Yeah.
This belief that hasn't been justified through empirical means, logical
That's why
means,
it's called a faith.
anything
It's
like
literally
that. How
called
do you
a
know
faith.
that this is true, right? And then you're saying faith, which is a part of belief. So this is the problem,
because we
right?
could have one thing of evidence. We could have one thing, and then all of us come up with a different conclusion. I mean, that's literally just reality.
That's
People do that. How the hell is it not true? Me and you could both look at the same evidence, and I'll call it created, and you won't.
Yeah, and
I mean,
one
I
of
don't
us
even need
might
for
be
it to
wrong,
happen. I
while
already
the
know
other
what's going
can
to
be
happen.
You're
right.
saying like,
But you can't prove
I'm
that.
gonna buy a
You
lotto
cannot prove
Yes,
it
I
either
can.
way.
That's
It
what
has to
evidence
be
is.
faith.
No.
You're saying like,
that's the
I'm gonna
thing.
buy a
Okay.
lotto ticket and I'm gonna win the lotto tomorrow, right? That's what you're saying.
No.
And you're saying it
Why not?
super
We've got faith in that.
confidently.
No.
And he's asking you, why are you saying this so confident?
I'm saying we're here.
Instead of responding to why you're saying this so confidently, you're like, you're gonna win the lotto tomorrow too. And he's like, but I never said I was gonna win the lotto tomorrow.
No,
why are you misrepresenting me? I'm asking
like
why
not
you
true.
think you're gonna win
that's
the
not
lotto
what happened. That's not what's happening. What's happening is he asked me why I picked this faith. And I said that, I said my answer. I don't need to say it again. I just said it 300 times. I mean, and then I said that it's where I put my faith. And then he says, why can't you pick another one? Why don't you not believe that and believe something else? That's where I get annoyed with it. Cause it's like, well, what the fuck? It's not your business. Right? Like, why can't we just move on from that stupid question? Like, I'm not going to do
because
that.
It's
like,
a non-answer.
And he's not going to be happy until I do. Because he doesn't. He's got some bone to pick with the Christian God, and it's like, bro, that's your problem. Like, why do you got to keep
there
asking
isn't
the
a
same
God to
thing?
pick a bone with?
See, that's what I'm saying. So, what is your problem with me believing whatever the hell I want?
Probably,
I ask you.
Can I ask a question about it?
Fallacy as well.
Yeah, please. I don't know who you are, but please.
Well, there's two sides each coin. So, what's the opposite of faith?
Reason.
Justified belief would be the opposite of faith.
Can we have justified beliefs?
Okay, what would Missing Mode do or say about that? Biblically speaking, what would you say?
Well, I'm assuming that would mean, what they're saying, evidence, right? Like, it's not a faith. You don't need to have faith if you know something, if you have the facts.
So you
but if someone's seen something, if someone else seen something, if I seen something and I told you, I don't care who I am, right? If I told you, you have to have faith or not have faith in what I said, if there's no way to manifest that situation again, right?
If
that's what I'm saying. These guys, I don't care how many of them have
you ever
done this
considered
scientific research.
Have you ever considered Romans 4:1? If you believe in the Bible, it says, "He that is weak in the faith receiveth not, but unto doubtful dispositions." And then, Deuteronomy 28:6 says, "The life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have no insurance of life." So I believe that
there's a more relevant verse, though. Have faith in things unseen, which is
Hebrews 11.
Elucidating. Don't interrupt me, EA.
Sorry.
If you interrupt again, or you, I'm like about to remove you, dude. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So like, if you're in the Bible, it says, have faith in things unseen, right? So it's telling you to have an unjustified belief in this stuff, right? And that have faith in things unseen just highlights that even further, right? Like there's no justification for the stuff that you're having faith in, right? And so
sometimes,
Yeah, but
biblically, at
sorry.
least from what I've seen and the people I've talked to, it would be akin to an unjustified belief.
Yeah, unjustified. Well, that's in the matter of what Paul talks about is our hope, right? Hope has an element of doubt.
Yeah, that's why it says if you had this faith, you know, if you had really strong faith, you could move a mountain. I think that's saying like we ain't got none. We barely have any. Right?
Mark
I know I
11,
don't have
23 says,
this.
"Verily I say unto you, who shall say unto this mountain, be removed and cast into the sea," and then it says, "and shall not doubt in your heart, but shall believe in those things which will come to pass, shall have whatsoever he asketh."
Can we have a consensus on this? Is faith believing without justification?
Yeah. Yep. Faith is kind of like what I had in my dad when he would drive me to school in the morning.
Right.
Yeah,
I just knew he was going to get me there.
Can we
It's
have
exactly
justified
how
beliefs?
I feel about it. Can we? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
do you think?
Is it? Oh, go ahead.
Do you think we've got justified beliefs?
I do need to jump in real fast because there's a super chat, and I do appreciate the super chat, Big Bad Mama. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Boo, Big Bad Mama.
And she said, "Great job, tacos and missing mod."
Aw. Thank you, Big Bad Mama.
So we can have justified beliefs, right?
Well, I mean, okay, wait. I thought, okay, never mind. What do you mean, like beliefs? Because belief is what? What does that mean exactly?
Belief is thinking something's true.
Trusting,
and the knowledge.
Right? Trusting something's true.
Well,
I'm going to stick with my definition.
Because you could have justified belief, you could have unjustified belief.
That's why I was asking.
It's going to be unjustified until it's justified, right?
And I was explaining, knowledge is a subset of beliefs. Beliefs is thinking something is true. If it's justified and it is true, then it's knowledge.
Okay. So justified belief doesn't make sense then, right?
No, it does. Then it's qualified. Okay. Then it qualifies as knowledge. If I think it's true that, I don't know, something opinion. If I think that strawberries are better in ice cream than chocolate, then it's subjective, and so if it's subjective, then we can't project it on reality or correspond with reality, because someone else will be equally valid as saying the opposite. Right. So, yeah.
So,
I mean, you could have knowledge that chocolate's your favorite because there's still going to be like corresponding neurochemical reactions and neurons that make it that way. And so from my understanding,
maybe, but we're muddying the waters here now.
Yeah.
So we can have justified beliefs, right?
Okay, so you're saying justified.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the common understanding of God's wisdom is spirit. And
yeah, that doesn't address the
wisdom
question.
Is sometimes called prudence. So how do you?
Yeah, I would love to stay linear though. We can have justified beliefs, right? Justified true beliefs, even, right?
In this world, yeah. Does
Missing Mode agree as well?
Wait, say that again. I was reading the comments. My bad. One more time.
Can we have justified true beliefs?
A belief in this world, yeah. For good reasons or is supported by sufficient evidence. Yeah. Yeah, but it's still got that word belief in it.
Yeah, but justified true belief is knowledge. No.
Yes.
You're now doing a bait and switch, changing the definitions of terms to use them in a different context.
You use the word.
I'm trying to stay linear. Can we have justified true beliefs?
Well, of course we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean what we learn in school? Would that be a good example? Like that would be a justified belief? Please answer me.
I'll clarify by asking more questions.
Can you just answer that one? Is that not a good enough example? Like, is school, would that be a justified belief?
Knowledge through schooling, yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. So I'm going to stay right where I was because that's still.
Well, instead of going on to say that it's knowledge, why don't we just say it's the truth?
Because some people lie, right? Like there's tons of examples of that.
Well, anything less than the truth is not the truth, and anything more than the truth is a lie.
You're defining.
Yes. I'm saying even if
truth
people
has to deal with if it coheres with reality or whatever.
Truth is a value of a statement, is what it is. Specifically,
would
that's
apply to that thing that you're talking about. Because if it's math, it's going to be a little bit different than like eating a pizza slice, right? But
right.
So when he's talking about knowledge, he's talking about justified true belief, right? So it would already be true. That's why he was saying it was knowledge, right?
Right, truth. So we can call it truth.
So we can justify
knowledge, right?
Justify our beliefs, right?
Truth is a subset of knowledge. I'm sorry, knowledge is a subset of truth, right? So
no.
Belief and truth, or knowledge is a subset of belief, but you have it's a justified true belief. I'd probably say that wrong, but it's a justified true belief, right? So truth,
right?
It being true is going to either cohere with reality or align with whatever epistemological framework is used for the thing that you're learning about, right?
So it'd be more like a plant growing, right? Because truth probably doesn't have an end, just like mathematics.
Well, if you you could know that a plant is growing, right? What I'm saying is truth comes before the knowledge, right? But
truth
you deem it's true, and then you have knowledge, right?
Truth is a value of a statement. Statement can be
true.
Yes, exactly.
Statement can be true or false. If it corresponds with reality, it's true.
Right. So
if
it can change.
Truth does not have an independent existence. Like when people say God is the truth or Jesus is the truth or stuff like that, that's a totally incoherent statement.
Truth is not.
That makes sense too, because truth, like there wouldn't even be any questions if we weren't here, right? Like animals don't give a crap about anything.
They do model reality in their minds.
Like but see, the truth in this matter, I mean, it literally cannot be, because every single person would have to experience it themselves to know for sure without using faith, or not faith, but without learning it from someone else, right? Like
I can agree with you that there wouldn't be truth if there wasn't anyone making claims, because like I said, claims can be true or false. It's a value of a proposition.
Yeah.
If there is no one making any propositions, it's not that there would be truth. It's just that it would be reality itself. And the universe does as the universe is.
Man,
so
if I'm in control of what this person is eating for third dinner or fifth meal or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to say you're going to have breakfast for fifth meal. And so eggs, bacon, and waffles. Sorry.
So we can justify our beliefs. We can find out if they're true as well, right?
Oof. Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah.
So all right. So how do we go about figuring out whether something is true?
You got to study it yourself, right?
You probably have to start with understanding that anything less than the truth is not the truth, and anything more than the truth is a lie.
I think we're all here on the same basis that the rule of identity applies.
Whoa.
That truth is truth and not truth isn't truth. There's also the law of excluded middle where it is truth or not truth, and there isn't something in the middle. So anyway,
I guess it has to be weighed in an even balance then, right?
Because if it was like a package coming, I'd be like, I wouldn't even get emotional about it I probably would. Never mind, that's a bad example. But our emotions kind of get involved and we don't listen. We just think we're right and we fight.
Emotions are primary motivators, but we can find out what's true and we can justify those beliefs. And you said we can do that by studying it ourselves. Is there do you think atoms exist?
Yeah.
Have you seen one?
No.
How do you know they exist?
Seen them on the internet.
I have faith in that. They do, right? Someone's seen them, just like you guys. Just thank you. You just made a great example of what I've been trying to say. we all have to have faith. I trust them guys.
We do have evidence for atoms.
But do we have evidence that that there wasn't a God? Do we have evidence that like it started on its own or evolution?
Yeah.
Well, where?
The theorem
no one's
is that if there
it.
is a zero, if there is a non-zero sum of energy in the universe wasn't created because energy, because energy cannot be created or destroyed.
A really smart guy came up with, but that doesn't make sense though, because everything is degrading, right? Isn't the sun supposed to go out in like 10 billion years?
Can energy be created?
It had to have started somewhere.
The energy isn't going away. It's just,
yeah, my bad. You're right.
It's just distributing evenly to the point where it's no longer usable.
Yeah, so can energy be created or destroyed, Maud?
Yeah.
Can it be created or destroyed? That's what science says. I don't really know.
Well,
see, like I said, I ain't that smart.
It doesn't say questions. Can energy be created or destroyed?
I thought, wait. It doesn't say questions. Why?
It says statements. It says that it can't be created or destroyed. It doesn't walk out and ask questions.
Kind of prideful.
Science is for answering questions.
What if we're proven wrong at some point?
Then it would be proven wrong. And how are we gonna get about that? By believing it was wrong? By having faith it was wrong? Or by studying it and
stating it like a fact is a bad start.
Confirming that.
I don't know how they're going to figure it out, but I'm saying stating it as a fact and we don't know.
It's kind of holistics of how we go about figuring these things out. So what's it going to be? We're going to just have faith that it's wrong and that's going to be enough. We're gonna actually go out and observe things and test them and model reality and check if it becomes true, or like what's the words that I'm missing here? If it turns out to be true, if it accurately models reality.
Well, it can't turn out to be true because we're always studying it, right? But science is proven wrong all the time. It's proven wrong all the time. We've been wrong a lot.
What demonstrates science to be true? Wrong, actually.
Well, I mean, failed scientific theories.
No, what makes science? What demonstrates science to have been wrong?
I'm like, people lie, man.
What demonstrates science to be wrong is more science.
Yeah.
Not religious beliefs. Have you ever heard about religious breakthrough?
Unstable, by the way.
It's very stable.
It is.
We keep increasing our knowledge and we keep increasing its accuracy. So again, can energy be
created or destroyed? No. According to science, no.
Do we have energy?
Well, I used to. Yes.
I'm talking about universe. Does the universe have more than zero energy?
I know. I was making a joke because you're taking it so seriously.
I would.
And I'm just.
It does, yeah.
So you do. Also, yeah. So since energy can't be created or destroyed, and we have energy, then it wasn't created. God didn't create it.
According to science. Yes.
According to philosophy, actually, and logic.
Well, whatever. According to some guy that said something.
Yeah, it's a both valid and sound argument.
Well, I'm just saying.
We don't have
even creation of the universe. You could always stop at the creation itself, and the fact that it's here, or the fact that things have been said, is the composition of trying to understand what's being said in the universe. Even scientists have been trying to do that for decades, trying to understand the universe.
Right.
Yeah. So we've got energy. So it wasn't created. It was always here.
Well, even in Proverbs 8, it talks about the wisdom of God, and it was here before the world was even created, is what it says in Proverbs 8. So it does have an aspect of, it was always here.
That is a kind of weird idea to come up with, though, because, everything around us dies and degrades and gets worse.
Yeah, but energy doesn't.
I understand what he is saying, but I'm just saying it's just really, that was smart. I mean, the guy was smart, but still just a guy, I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. According to him, sure. And I guess it makes sense, but I have to have faith in what he said. The science or the philosopher.
What are you talking about?
That said, the philosopher that said that about, matter and energy. We're talking about what you were just talking about.
Yeah, because I was confused
because I'm talking about the guy that came up with it. Yeah. Not just the whole idea. Like there's more that goes into it because there's people behind these ideas that you believe in, right? Someone had to put it on a piece of paper.
There are people. What I'm trying to say is, have you ever tried to destroy energy?
I don't think so.
Have you ever created energy?
I've had a kid, a couple of them.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to give me an example. I don't know what you mean.
Well, energy, right? The potential energy, the kinetic energy.
Right.
Yeah,
like
have you ever destroyed any of
energy
those?
in life?
Have you ever
Is that what you mean?
No,
the energy of chemical bonds. Have you ever created or destroyed that? Was there ever an area of space-time where there was no energy and you made some?
No.
Yeah, in the collider, they actually collided things together and created an extra element.
They had a baby.
It's not creation of energy though. It's just changing what's there into something else.
Energy transforms, but it doesn't cease to exist.
And also, when we create elements, we don't take energies of the collision to just make a new one. It's that there is a certain number of protons and neutrons in one core and protons and neutrons in the other core, and we smash them together so they combine. And there's a sum of them, and that has different properties, and that's a new element.
Yeah, there's new ones that came to light anyway.
All right, so this is getting kind of boring. So do you guys actually believe in supernatural stuff?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah, do you two actually believe in supernatural stuff?
Yeah.
I believe in supernatural, yeah.
Like, what is supernatural to y'all two?
Something that we can't explain. Like, well, to me, actually, supernatural, I kind of look at that more like, not ghosts, right? But you know how the idea of ghosts, how they're there, but you don't see them. You know, I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm saying
you know that they're there if you don't see them.
That's how I look at it, right? Like, is like the unseen realm. Sometimes people see it. You know, there's people out there that have witnessed it. Maybe they're all lying. I don't know. Maybe they're all just stupid and they weren't scientists. I don't know. But, you know, there's tons of accounts out there.
And yet you believe they're true?
So you think there's these
I don't believe them all, no.
So you
do you believe some?
Yeah.
Sorry, Taco. Sorry for interrupting you. You want to take it from here?
Yeah, so for clarification, you think there's these disembodied consciousnesses just floating around. So are these? Oh no,
not disembodied. No, it's just a realm that
we can't see. They're not spirits, are they?
I think we got kicked out of that.
So do they look like humans, or do they look like what is a spirit?
Some do. I mean, I don't know what they are exactly. But I mean, some of them do. Like some don't. Some look like animals. Some look like half fans. Some look really weird. I mean, some are really friggin' weird looking. I don't know. I don't know what they are. I can't describe it in with scientific evidence or anything. But
what can you describe them in then?
I can't. Like what I can tell you my experience, but that's my evidence, and
Do you think that experience convinces anyone other than you?
No.
So what would you believe?
Maybe it does. Maybe people believe it.
Like I believe experience.
Yeah, like
Have you seen one of these or many of these?
I have. No, not many. Just one.
What did it look like?
It was I just call it a dogman. I'm not really sure. It was the whole story. Dave Captive Desk interviewed me about it. It's on his channel.
No, but we're talking to you about it now, and we have questions we'd like to ask about that.
Okay.
And it would be really, it'd be a hassle to stop in the middle of the stream and go listen to probably a 20 or 30-minute interview.
I was just giving a little, hey, it's out there. Trying to give Dave a little.
We'll just ask you a question about it. We'll just ask you a question about it.
Okay.
Was it wearing clothes?
Don't be rude. Okay.
Which part of what I said?
And it was in incredible shape. The best shape I've ever seen any male ever.
What was it doing?
All I could see was its back. It was on two legs, and it was walking away from me. Kind of. It was walking away, but it was like kind of like, I don't know, at an angle. But anyway,
Where did it walk?
Where did it walk? I don't know.
Where did it need to walk? Where did it need to put one foot in front of the other to move?
I didn't. I literally seen it for a split second. I didn't ask it one question. I was frozen solid. I couldn't even freaking
Where
move.
did this
I couldn't
happen?
speak. In my at my house.
Was
it was
dark?
in my backyard.
Was it
I
dark?
know it sounds crazy. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it.
Don't be fucking
You wouldn't
rude.
believe it. That's
yeah,
the
but
point.
What do you say?
Wouldn't
You're
believe
literally
it.
accusing me of being a liar. You don't even fucking know
No,
me.
no,
Like,
no.
what
I'm
the
not accusing you.
hell, bro? I ain't
No,
answering
I'm
none
not
of your
accusing you of
questions. Get out
being
of
a
my face.
liar. I'm
Yes,
telling
you
you
are.
that
For you to sit there and laugh at me and tell me that I'm fucking crazy, that is you calling me a liar.
So did it have a head? Or
yes,
like a human
did.
head? Or was it like a dog head?
It was a dog head. I wouldn't even have known the thing was a weird creature if I wouldn't have seen its head. Now, I only... Because, see, my mother-in-law was walking into the house, so her back was towards it, and I seen it walking in the backyard. It was late at night, dark, and it was pure white. I mean, it was glowing. It had like a dull glow, like something that glows in the dark, but it's lost its glow. BS. But
did it have a tail then? Was it like a
I don't know.
tail?
I didn't see it from okay, so I could see like right below its shoulder blades. Or I could only see above its shoulder blades. So like I could see its
floppy
back.
ears?
No, it looked like it reminds me of that dog-headed god in Egypt, but it was white. And see, the only reason I say dog is because it's a long story. But anyways, it had a Doberman head. It looked like to me. I only seen it for a split second. I was freaking out, scared to death. I mean, I couldn't even take my eyes off of it. But my mother-in-law was walking in and she's looking at my face like, what the hell's wrong? You know, I'm in terror, right? Because I'm trying to tell her, like, there's something there, turn around and look. And she just stepped up in the doorway and blocked my view so I couldn't see. And by the time I looked around, it was gone. So
why could you only see the shoulders and above?
Well, because she was blocking my view. She was trying to walk in the door and I'm taller than her, so I could see over her. And when she stepped into the doorway...
Was it in the yard or was it on the other side of the fence?
It was in the yard. And it was walking towards the backyard, which is weird. Like, I don't know why. I don't know.
How long did you see this for?
It was very, very quick. I mean, as long as it... maybe not even 10 sequences. It happened fast. And I admit, you know, maybe my eyesight... now, I have excellent eyesight, so I know if it wasn't what I thought it was... it was definitely you know, a trick of the eyes. I don't know. I've thought about it a lot. I mean, it happened years ago. And I still think about it. It scared me. You know, like I was like, what the hell is that? I mean, could you imagine? This thing was 8 foot tall. It was so big. It was probably taller than that. It was huge. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm like, I didn't even think about where it was going or why it was there. I was just like, what the hell is this? And it was, I wish I could have seen the bottom half of it because the top half was like, he ain't ever eaten at McDonald's. Let's just say that. He was in shape. And it was, you know, I had chickens at the time.
Did it look like it was physical or did it look like it had, like, could you see through it?
No, I couldn't see through it. It looked very physical. It looked, I mean, the shadows of it. It was incredible. I made an AI picture of it, but it doesn't do it justice, really. But yeah. And see, I'd never seen anything like that before in my life, you know, and I haven't ever seen one since. I wish I could. I would, because I mean, in that moment, you don't have a chance to grab your phone. Like I'm at the back door helping my mother-in-law come in, you know, I'm not even thinking about it. Thinking about like I need to keep my eyes open. I got chickens, you know, so I was thinking, you know, I'm always, you know, wanting to make sure they're safe, but Maud wanted to see his doggy bone. BS. Anyway, I mean, you know, why not? What the hell? I wanted to see what the hell. He looked great. Like he was in great shape. Like the best. And see, that's the story of other people, like the Mothman, you know, the woman that seen the Mothman said he was in great shape. He didn't move one muscle and he just shot into the air. Now the Dogman can't fly. He didn't have wings. So, you know, he couldn't fly, but the Mothman could. I don't, you know, maybe they're lying. Maybe I know I'm not lying, but you guys don't know that, but I know. So I mean, I don't.
Can this be said as supernatural, or is this an actual?
I mean, if it was like a real life werewolf, which would be awesome.
Yeah, right.
But if it was like a real life werewolf, I would still say that would be physical and not supernatural. And I definitely don't think that would be support for the supernatural realm you're talking about, just based off of this description you've given. If I was just to say, okay, this is a real thing you saw, right?
Totally agree.
Well, there's still one more part of the story that I haven't mentioned. Now, I didn't see this thing like in that form ever again, right? But finally, when I shoved my mother-in-law out of the way. Okay, I'm like, will you freaking move so I can see what the hell this is?
How come she didn't see it?
Can you just shut up? Like, you're.
How come she didn't see it? It was 8 foot tall.
Because her back was facing it, and she's
it
half
was 8
blind.
foot tall, though.
Do you want to know anything else?
Yes.
You're annoying.
Well,
you're just literally trying to be a dick.
And you keep yapping.
Because you're asking me a fucking question. I'm telling you a story.
And yes or no
often
suffice.
So you can try to disprove me, you friggin' asshole. Like, why don't you just shut up?
You yourself said that
lying?
you wouldn't
Shut
believe
up.
it if
a
you didn't
dick.
experience it. So it was
I
dark.
can barely understand
it was
what
dark.
you're saying. Why don't you speak up, coward?
I'll keep telling yourself that.
You
said
you
that it's
up.
Right. Keep yapping. That really proves that you're confident in what you're saying.
Okay,
It was dark. Great. It was dark. And it could have been something that you misunderstood. Something like you said yourself.
Did you even hear what I said 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
It could have been a trick of the light, just like you said.
Can you please shut him up?
It was a fucking magical ghost.
Fucking annoying.
What's
like
problem?
he's not like making any good points or anything. He's just literally sitting here saying
what
I already said.
Because you keep yapping.
I think he's leading.
I wasn't done yet. The guy asked me a question.
Exactly,
prick.
you weren't done. You kept yapping.
Because I wasn't done
yet. Let's allow her to
asshole.
finish talking.
What the fuck? He asked me a question.
And then feel free to ask another question.
He learned how to unmute. Now he's like a big boy now,
when they're talking.
Dude, you're fucking annoying.
And I did have you muted before free play because I wanted to hear about this experience. And I still want to hear about this experience. Because, I mean, for years I've asked people for evidence of the supernatural. And I've heard stories like this, but it's always drawn a blank, right? There's never been anything there.
It's anecdotal evidence.
I mean, you probably know. I don't think that you saw something there. Obviously, I think that either you were on drugs, maybe you didn't take medication, maybe
you have to have
everybody
believing in that.
5% of the population does hallucinate at some point in their life. Maybe you had a hallucination, some type of like horny fever dream. It sounds like.
Just a trick of their life, just like you said.
There's a lot of things that could
Well, it doesn't matter. Neither one of you guys were there. You don't know. You have no clue what I was doing. You don't know anything. That's what I'm saying. And I literally said it's anecdotal evidence. I almost didn't even go into it because I don't want to hear all this crap. I've heard it all. And then Captain Obvious here is pointing out the literal obvious just to be a dick. And it's like, dude, you don't have to believe in Jesus. Like, you don't have to. You can hate him all you want to. I don't give a crap. The guy just asked me a question. I was trying to explain it.
I don't care, though.
I don't care. That's my business.
How does this vision relate to the Christ God?
It doesn't. It doesn't. I said that I had an experience with something, and
so why would you bring that back up when we're talking about supernatural stuff? That's a total non sequitur.
Because I said something about me having an experience and believing other people's experience. And then you said, oh, you did? What kind of experience? You got curious about it and asked me. I didn't want to talk about it because I know this shit happens. It's I was delusional. I was on drugs. I was just totally, absolutely out of my mind, insane. It doesn't matter to me what you guys think about it, right? Like, we don't have to go into the bashing my story shit. Like, I'm not making it up to look cool because it doesn't make me look cool. It makes me look stupid, right?
Right.
And that's fine. Right. You guys can think whatever.
I don't think you're making it up.
You can think whatever you want to, honey. I'm going to sleep just fine tonight because I don't know you and I don't care what you think. Okay, free play? Okay, thank you. Well, you care what I think because you've been sitting in here insulting me and arguing with me for, the entirety of
hardly. I'm
my
just
time
having fun
here.
discussing these things.
No,
I just like the
you're
argument.
not having fun. That's obvious.
Oh, keep telling yourself that.
You're miserable and pissed off at me for some reason. I don't know
Keep
why.
projecting.
I didn't do nothing to you.
Keep projecting.
Okay. Well, I'm pissed off at you now, yeah, because you're an asshole for no reason. It's like, dude, is that how you fucking deal with people in real life? I can't hear you when you're talking while I'm talking, coward. Speak up.
I don't think about you at all.
Oh, okay. You were just thinking about me like 10 seconds ago, analyzing my story and what I seen. Like, shut
10
up.
seconds ago and analyzing, yeah. Actually, that's what's on your mind right now.
Okay, pervert.
That's not the words that I said.
I made a mistake. You are being a pervert. That's where you took it.
Keep telling
you went right
that.
to anal too. Is that
back to projecting?
Is that what you're thinking?
On,
those were your words.
We can have a productive hey. We can have a productive conversation here and not be creepy. Come on.
So is there any understanding or wisdom in the Bible?
We specifically went into ghosts because you specifically asked Taco if you believe in anything supernatural, because you specifically wanted to not talk about what we were talking about just before that, because you said that is boring for the audience.
Thank you.
I want to hear more about this dogman. What do you think this dogman was?
See, you're the one that was curious about it. I don't know. I do not know. I have my theories, but I'm definitely not getting into them.
Can you call it in again?
Can I call on it? I never called it.
Can you call on it now?
No. I don't know what its name is, and I don't, I have no idea like where it lives. I don't know where it was going. I wasn't able to even see its face.
Have you seen it any more times?
No, I wish. I would love to see it again. I would look totally different this time.
Yeah, we do, considering that everyone has a camera with them. And if you recorded it, you could have scored like $1 million.
I had a camera at that time, but I was just like in my pajamas. It was the middle of the night. I was opening up the door for my mother-in-law. My older.
And your mother didn't see it?
No, she sure didn't. She doesn't have eyes in the back of her head. Evolution didn't give her those.
So you said that this reminded you of the Egyptian god Anubis?
Yeah, it's had the shape like that because it didn't have hair all over its body. If it did, it was very short and I couldn't see it. It was very, it just looked like, because I could see the definition in his muscles,
How do you know it wasn't Anubis?
Anubis was depicted as a white or gray wolf, from what I'm reading here, or maybe it was.
It says white.
Jackal.
Wapawet, the opener of ways.
Because
originally a jackal deity of funerary rites, war, and royalty, whose cult center was Asuyut in Upper Egypt. Was seen as a jackal, or according to some, a wolf deity with its. Just talking more about that. But
are we getting further away from the microphone?
Wouldn't that be good evidence for
Anubis?
That
how do you know it wasn't Anubis?
I don't know.
Why don't you have faith that it is?
Because I imagine Anubis wouldn't be visiting my backyard. I don't know.
Why wouldn't it? You don't know how gods operate.
It doesn't say Anubis was white, does it?
He could be whatever he wants. He's got magic powers.
Depicted as a gray or white wolf, and there's also
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then there's also Wepawet, which had like a grayish to white head and looked more like a jackal, which you described a dog that would probably look like a jackal. I forget what it was, but the running dog is what you described, right?
Yeah, that's weird because I never realized that, because I'm always looking for other people that have seen a white one, like all the accounts that I hear are always just a black one. The only reason I say dog man is because I just happened right after the incident happened. I seen a picture that someone had made or some drawing, and it was a dog man. And I'm like, man, that looks like what I saw, but it wasn't the same colors or anything. So I just say dog man, but people have said werewolf too, because I'm like, well, I guess, it's.
How do you know it wasn't a sign from Anubis to show you that the Egyptian pantheon is true as opposed to Jesus and Christianity?
Well, I only seen him for 10 seconds and he didn't say one word.
Well, he showed himself to you for 10 seconds.
To go on.
He showed himself to you for 10 seconds. What more can you possibly want?
Well, I don't know, man. We're here, so
you also said that some other
what an
people also
absurd
saw
question.
a dog
I just
ghost.
don't like you. I don't know. It's
You,
weird.
you just don't like me because I've got the
Because
questions
you're a
that you can't
jerk.
answer.
Like every question you
I've
ask
got
me
the
feels like
questions
you're
that you
coming
can't
at me like
answer,
some kind
and
of
you
weird
get mad,
shit.
coward.
No, I'm not. I'm not a coward. I'm in here literally talking about shit that's gonna have. You know, the whole chat's probably
That
talking
makes you a
shit.
joke, yeah.
It doesn't matter though. I'm still
It
fucking
was
braver than you,
Anubis,
bro.
and it was
I'm
showing
still
to
way
you that
braver than you, bro. I'm
Egyptian
the only.
pantheon
Well, I
is
don't know if the
real as
seven
opposed to
patterns person is a
Christianity.
Christian. Hey,
It was there giving you a
no one
sign.
can hear when we're both talking, and I
Well,
know you're
that's the
doing that
benefit
just to
for
be a
everyone
dick.
to not hear you. It was Anubis giving you signs that he's real and the Egyptian pantheon is real, and you should abandon
If a
your false
scientist told me that,
religion
I could have
and join
faith.
the Egyptian pantheon.
I'd have to have a scientist come and tell me, and then have his buddy, say
Did a
that it was
scientist
true.
come to you
And
to
then
tell you that
it'll be
Christianity is
fact.
true?
It'll be a
We're being a
scientific
little
theory
aggressive
fact.
here, man. So
Yeah.
there's. I mean,
Little.
all I'm hearing is that it sounds like
We weren't even arguing. We were having a nice conversation.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you had an interesting vision of possibly much more likely an Egyptian god or possibly a werewolf.
Yeah, well, you guys are tagging the Egyptian thing on there. I'm just saying what I saw.
Yeah, you saw
I don't know
Anubis,
where he
and he
came
was
from.
proving to you
I
that
don't
he's
know
real,
what-
Sounds
as
like
opposed to
you
Christianity.
actually saw
Anubis was in my backyard. Okay.
Wapawet is what the opener of ways.
Well, if I
That's what
see
it
a
sounds
dog,
like you saw.
if I see a pit bull, that doesn't mean if you have a pit bull, I seen
It
your
wasn't a
pit
pit bull. It was the spirit of
No.
Anubis.
It sounded
Hey,
like you
asshole,
described Wapawet.
I'm using an example. Like, if you seen a dog that was the same breed as mine, that doesn't mean you seen mine, right? Like it could have been just some other.
But you saw
thing.
neither of those.
You're an idiot. Let me just add that, just to make sure everybody knows.
And you're sad. You saw Anubis, and you're not.
So that's my problem. But
and
see,
you're
your
not changing your religion to one true
religion
of Egyptian pantheon.
Oh, are you scared of Jesus? That's what it is. That is what it is. You
Jesus is a bitch, and so are you. What are you gonna do about it?
There it is.
What is he gonna do about it?
There it is, a guy that doesn't exist, and you're that mad at him. It's like, hey,
we're not gonna call people bitches on stage. Come on, dude. What are you doing?
Sorry, I know I'm not being nice either.
It's okay to
but
say Jesus is a bitch or whatever, but don't call people on stage that. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I don't mean to be an ass.
Sorry he said that to you.
It's all right. That was probably the nicest thing he said. I mean, I say that all the time. Because I am a bitch. I've been a bitch, to him.
Shouldn't be calling people that, right? So.
Thank you.
You have what we seem to have just determined seems like unjustified belief or faith in this God thing. But your personal experience, when I was asking about supernatural stuff, you seem to describe possible Egyptian god or a werewolf, right?
Yeah, I was just saying I seen something that I thought was supernatural. I haven't never seen one before or after. So, but, I'm not really sure, like, what exactly supernatural is. Just something that can't be explained, right? But see, lots of things can't be explained.
I would say it would be something that would be, like, non-physical, right?
Yeah, okay. I want to make sure we have this
so
same definition.
That wouldn't exist as, like, a product of the physics in some way, shape, or form.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Did he leave a footprint? Wouldn't that mean, like, if he was physically actually there? But, I just don't know, And that's why I was saying, like, I'm not really sure where the supernatural part comes in. Because, you could have something that's unexplainable to people that just totally is explainable if you're there, right? So I just don't really know what supernatural. I guess it would be something that can't. I don't know. Let me look it up. Let me just look it up. Definition.
Look up Wapawet.
What? What's that mean?
WEPWAWET.
WEP. Wait.
Is it like Possywood?
Spell that again. Sorry, I spelled it wrong.
WEPWAWET.
Oh my gosh.
Wet. I'm probably saying that wrong.
Okay. Is depicted as a white, grayish. Yeah, but see his body.
Sounds like the dog that you mentioned would have had a smaller head.
See, the pictures that I'm looking at has it like with it looks like what it looks like his body is the color of a human's body, you know, like just a tan color, but this thing that I saw, his entire head and everything was all white. But see the other pictures.
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe it wasn't a dark skin. Because it's like the white and like the Anubis has like a white wolf and a black wolf form or something. Maybe it's something that can change. I don't know. It just sounds to me like you're describing that, right?
Yeah, that is.
Saying maybe like, it takes a different form or something, and it's like, right, but. Like, right. To me, I don't know why you wouldn't go through. All I'm getting at is I don't know why you wouldn't go through that type of mindset and like.
I did
hold to the Christian. Like, do these could these dogman things be a product of the Christian God?
No. Look, when I first seen this thing, my first thought was this thing is like, you know, making me think like, what's up? I started thinking that ancient aliens might be right. This was like a long time ago though. Now I'm on a totally different area now in the way I think. But I mean, it really, you know, I didn't take it that way. And see, I got saved when I was 14 and I've went to church like a handful of times, you know, like since I was 16, it was probably the last time I went. So I'm not like a churchy and like that. Like I'm not in the church and looking for supernatural stuff and stuff like that. I'm scared to death of like the dark and stuff like that. I'm not out there looking and wanting to see this, you know, but it just happened, you know, and I just tell it like I saw it. Sucks, like, you know, because people really don't believe it, and that's fine. I understand that, but yeah, I don't know. But I try to be open and just be honest about it and tell everybody, because I know you guys have fun with it and like to hear about it. But, you know, what do you do with people that have had experiences like me? Or, you know, maybe I was delusional. Maybe I was, you know, I smoke pot, you know, I don't drink, so I wasn't drunk, and I've never had any other type of episodes. That's why I explained the Dave captive desk thing, because I explain all that. He goes through all those questions with me about like glasses and my eyesight and alcohol and all that, because he don't believe.
Oh, were you high that day?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always stoned, but you know, I've been stoned a lot. Never seen anything like it since or before, you know. But right. You know, like you were saying, even me, I gotta think like
hallucinate like that. But
exactly,
I was just curious.
But you know, and I think that's what if I can remember right, that's what my mother-in-law was coming in the house for, because we were gonna smoke, you know. So when she was coming in, it was late at night too, so it was like dark.
I'm gonna ask a question, and you don't have to respond to it, and I'm not gonna push you on it if don't feel disrespected, but. Are there any mental diagnoses that could cause a hallucination if like medicine wasn't taken or interacting with other drugs
myself?
Or whatever?
In myself or my family? Because in myself,
if
no.
you're okay with answering that.
Yeah, I'm fine. No, not in myself. No. Now I could be undiagnosed, but you know, like I said, I've never had anything like that ever happened to me before. And see, there's more to the story, because, and it's so funny, I didn't know that this Egyptian god was this type. I'm looking at the dog that they used as an example of what he was, I guess a shapeshifter, right? I guess that's what you would say, but that's exactly what this dog looked like, because I had this dog coming into my yard, okay? Like this is leading up to this sighting that I seen. This dog kept coming in my yard, and we have chickens, so we got cameras and stuff, and I'm watching it. And it did this weird pattern where it did the same thing, and it did it for like 3 or 4 nights in a row or something like that. It was just a weird number to where a dog wouldn't be like, you know, OCD about going this exact spot in every single time it visited. And I thought it was kind of weird, but I just let it go, you know. And then when this incident happened and I seen this thing, I was like, what the hell is that? And I just shoved my mother-in-law out of the doorway because I'm like, will you freaking get out of the way? I'm trying to see what the hell this thing is. And then next thing I know, all I seen was just a little glimpse of the back end of the dog running up the driveway, like towards the gate, like it was leaving. And I was just like, what the hell? A dog? That freaking dog, And I was like freaking out. I'm like, that thing was not a dog. It was a freaking 8-foot guy, like a man. And it looks just like this dog that they're saying was, Anubis or whatever. See, now, and I just use Anubis because he's a good example of like with the human body and, I didn't see any claws or anything on it, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying what I saw.
Anubis was depicted
I don't think it
as
was
a
the
white
guy for me
wolf as well. It sounds like I don't know. It's just saying that it was white or black wolf, right? So, but
and see, I said dog because it was small. I didn't realize that. I thought wolves were way bigger. So that's why I always said dog. Because I'm a city person.
In size.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Wesley. Sorry.
So
go ahead. Oh.
It sounds to me like you have personal evidence, at least for the Egyptian gods and Egyptian cosmology, right?
I guess, yeah. I mean, weren't they in the Bible too, though? Like the Egyptian stuff with the.
Well, if they were, the Bible would be wrong then, because Exodus 12:12. Let me pull that up real fast. So Exodus 12:12. On that same night, I will pass through Egypt and strike down every firstborn of both people and animals, and I will bring judgment to all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. That's often interpreted as from like theologians as the god monster things striking down either the if they think that it was like polytheist back then, striking down the god, actually destroying the gods, or others interpret it as destroying like idols of the gods and that type of thing, right?
Right.
But if that Bible was, I guess not if it says that, and you saw an Egyptian god, then the polytheistic interpretation of the Bible would be correct. And that, well, it wouldn't be correct, but it would be the correct interpretation. And then Exodus 12:12 would be false right there. And so at least a literalist view of the Bible could not be taken at that point.
But you're saying that I saw an Egyptian god, and I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. It was just a like naked dog man walking. I have no idea, like, who. In any way, if those gods are real, I believe they're fallen angels anyway. So I mean, there's probably other angels that look like them. I mean, maybe it was just a different one. That's why some aren't white, some are different colors. I mean, for the most part that I found, I didn't realize that this one was white. I mean, the one that I saw, I realized was white. I'm saying the Egyptian one, I thought it was black because it's got a black head. But that's why I use that example, because it had the same type of head and ears, But its body was human. It looked like a human man. Definitely.
This sounds like an Egyptian god.
Yeah, but I mean, what if there's more than one and it wasn't that one? I don't know.
There were a lot of Egyptian gods.
You know what I'm saying? The dog-headed one, Anubis. I don't think it was Anubis. And he definitely didn't say, so I don't have any evidence that it was.
Well, that's why I said Wawawet, or Wawawet, or however you say it.
Yeah, isn't that... and anyway, it's a spirit.
But yeah, Anubis, it says Anubis was also depicted as a white wolf, so I'm not sure the truth value of that, but...
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I'm glad I had this conversation, because now I'm leaning towards, like, I don't know, I just use the term dog man because that's trying to be true to what I saw, but, it could have been a werewolf or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I never even believed in that stuff. I thought it was all like movies. I didn't even believe in psychopaths, really. I mean, I didn't know much, I was like busy doing other stuff.
I don't think any of this is true. Like I don't think any of this coheres with reality, other than like you either hallucinated it or
Thank you.
Imagined it, or
I didn't imagine
whatever the case may be, right? But at least from your position with how convicted you are that this thing exists and this thing came to your home, if I was in your shoes, I would be doing deep dives on the Egyptian gods and probably gravitate towards that cosmology given the situation, especially if that does align with the Egyptian gods. Exodus 12:12 would be false, and you would know at least there's obviously quite a few parts of the Bible that are false, but you would know, like, hey, here is something that you have direct experience is false in the Bible,
right? See, I'm looking at it a little differently, and I don't know much about like how the Egyptian gods worked. I mean, how did they even contact them? Were they like here living with them, or were they like a spiritual thing? Was it magic? I don't know.
I'm not sure the scope of that, but yeah, I'm not sure the scope of that. I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't know enough to talk about that.
Yeah, because I mean, I can't connect it with Egypt just because somebody in Egypt said, I mean, it could, I highly doubt it was the same one. Like, I'm not saying that it wasn't, but I just don't even know. I don't know much about it. Because I mean, it could definitely
they're depicted like that. They claim to see them, right? But who really knows?
Right.
There's information on that online somewhere that I haven't had time to look into.
And see, if a bunch of people saw this thing, I'm sure, because people are like pretty dumb, they would be like, we want to worship this thing. It's way better than humans. It's bigger and stronger and cool looking. And, I don't think they can, I don't know. It didn't say anything. Like I said, I didn't even see its face, but, yeah, I mean, I can see people wanting to, and going towards worshiping something that's way better than humans. And there isn't anything on Earth right now. I mean, and if it's stronger, it's an animal, so it's not like planning and, debating or doing anything like humans. So, I mean.
Do you think that if this society worshipped the Egyptian pantheon, and that's what you had grown up with and encountered all your life, that seeing this dog thing would have reinforced your belief? You would have thought you would have seen one of the Egyptian pantheon, no?
Oh, yeah. I probably would have thought, man, I'm doing it right. Whatever I'm doing is right because it showed up. Is what I would think. I would assume it's going to show up if you're being good, right? Like if you see it, it'd be something special.
Did you have any strife relatively shortly after that happened?
Strife, like bad luck?
Yeah.
Let me think. No, I didn't. No, but that is kind of where my mind went with it, though. After a while, after years, I finally started thinking about it, and I'm like, and it involves magic, but I wasn't doing it. I don't know what the hell
magic?
They were doing.
But... What about magic?
Well, somebody was using magic. They watched Harry Potter or something, thought it was cool, I guess. I don't know how they got into it, but that was the only conclusion I could think of, because I can't come up with a scientific conclusion unless I just call myself a liar. So I just kind of like, I didn't like call the cops or anything. I was just like, whoa, and I've told the story a couple times. That's it. I'm not trying to sell books or anything like that.
So what exactly did they do with the magic?
They were, something stupid. They got mad at someone and, well, it wasn't even them. It was their friend. And they were trying to, I guess kill someone because the person did die. His son died too, though. But, I don't know if it was following her or something. I don't know. That's just my guess. I can't prove any of that. It's all friggin' fairy tales from that point, I don't know. And like I said, it could have just been like, just like that one dude said, it could have just been like lighting or something like that. I literally admitted it right before he started coming at me. Like I said, it could have been something else. I mean, I only seen it for a couple of seconds, but I know how scared I was, and it doesn't mean anything. My fear could have just been totally, misguided, just like when you feel something touch your leg and you think it's a bug. Well, I do that, but I could have been wrong about it. Totally. And I'll admit that.
Gotcha. Are there any other supernatural things that you've seen or experienced?
No, nothing that sticks out in my mind that I can think of right now.
And do you think that magic would be from the Christian God?
No, I don't. I do I do believe it. I believe it works. If you know what you're doing with it. Sometimes people don't know, and then it backfires on them. Apparently, just like you can't prove it, but this is what I think. And what other people think. I mean, it's kind of like, people compile this type of stuff in their own experiences, like witchcraft books, but that doesn't make them real. But, yeah. That's where I got my idea from, because I didn't know anything about this stuff when I first saw that. I didn't know anything. So I was just like, okay, just went on with my life and trying to find other people that had that experience. That's why people do that and like have channels, where they just talk about it. Because it's crazy. You really want to see it again. Chances are very unlikely you'll ever see it again, I would think. Or I would, for sure. Because we started shutting the gate and it stopped coming. It never came back. So I don't know if that's why, but just happened to be. Not saying it couldn't open the gate, but yeah.
Well, I'm just feeling like after hearing all of this, that when you say faith, it really is unjustified belief, right? Because these personal experiences of like supernatural stuff don't seem, even you said they don't seem to cohere on both of them with the Christian God, right? And so it seems like, once again, I do not think these are real things. I think that there's some other explanation for the seemingly phenomenon that you experienced, right? For the magic and the dogman.
Right.
Yeah. But I do think that it leaves you in a position where your God belief is even further unjustified, because these directly contradict what you think about that position, right? And so it would seem to be the case that you probably just, I feel like you don't hold your position for any good reason, right, on the Christian God. In fact, I think you have evidence, at least in your shoes, unless you were to think it was like a hallucination or something, for potentially the Egyptian pantheon, right? Magic exists in the Egyptian cosmology or religion or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a faith, and even if I did have some kind of evidence, it would just be anecdotal evidence. I wouldn't be able to prove it to anyone. That's where the faith comes in. Like if I tell you that I saw something, even if I'm somebody that you trust a lot, like say I'm a scientist, I don't know. And, even if I have a buddy that says, yeah, this is right, you still, unless you see it or do it yourself, you would have to either have faith in the fact that I'm telling the truth and that it's true, and hope to God that I saw it correctly and I'm saying the words right? Because I could be miswording something and making it sound totally different than what it is, you got to have faith that I'm able to convey that thought and it's correct, right? Because we could be looking at all this stuff and have no idea what the hell all of it's for. We can look at animals and see what they do and observe them and how they have a purpose and, stuff that they do. But, other than that, we don't. have any evidence. We have to believe what someone else is saying, and a lot of it I do believe because it makes sense, right? Like some of the science and stuff makes sense, but when it comes to origins and stuff, I wouldn't put all my money on these guys today being right when they've been wrong a lot. And which is good that they're constantly going at it, and testing stuff, but it's kind of hard to do when you go to it only thinking, okay, we can only go with what we have right here in front of us. Well, you can't come up with an idea of where they came from if you're only dealing with what's right here. That would have to go out of the realm of, it'd have to go into what someone thinks. And, I don't know. That's just my take on it.
I don't want to debate you on semantics, right? But we kind of already covered what a theory in science is and made that distinction between a scientific theory and a colloquial theory. So we don't have to have that discussion, right? We're on the same boat there that there's a difference between a scientific theory and a colloquial theory. Like, I have a theory for something versus a scientific theory.
Sure, I guess. I mean, I know that it's not literally defined as the same thing. Yeah, I don't see the difference in it, but
well, the difference is that one is supported by vast bodies of evidence and is as close to knowledge as science comes, right?
But
the
what
other
evidence
is just something that you're saying, oh, I have a theory. This oftentimes it's used as like colloquially as like a hypothesis, or just saying I have a theory something might happen or something like that, right?
Like my theory on why that dogman was here.
Yeah,
that's
but
the theory.
Like a scientific hypothesis is backed by mountains of evidence, right? And so, just so we're clear, they're not the same thing, right? But you're saying that science is wrong a lot, right? Science is provisional. It does improve over time. We're trying to get closer to, not me specifically, but like scientists are trying to get closer to the truth, right? I guess I'm trying to get closer to the truth too in my own ways, but like what actually conforms with reality, right? But do you accept evolution at this point, or are you skeptical of evolution, or do you think it didn't happen?
I think that it didn't happen. I don't think it happens today. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. Yeah.
So what evidence do you have to support that position?
I don't. That's why I said I think. And, there is no evidence. I mean, you're saying evidence, but what evidence? What compilation of evidence do they have?
Yeah. I mean, I can pull up a list. Evolution. Let's pull up Wikipedia, and I'll pull up all the different. It'll probably tell us all the different.
Because how much evidence would I need
of science
for you to believe my dogman story? Right? Like, what kind of how much evidence do I need for you to believe me?
So there is heredity, and then the variation is mutation, sex and recombination, gene flow, epigenetics. The evolutionary forces are natural selection, genetic drift, mutation bias. There's genetic hitchhiking, sexual selection, and then the fields of science.
Okay.
Pulling those up right now. Evolutionary biology, genetics, paleontology, biography, anatomy, ecology, chemistry, geology, and then there's other fields as well that I'm probably leaving out. I just pulled up a quick list, right? I mean, there's
that's
literally
evidence?
thousands upon thousands of studies in the relevant fields on evolution. There's like no question in the sciences if some form of evolution has occurred, right? Like there's small changes. A lot of small changes lead to larger changes, right? That's effective, and survival of the fittest. But that's effectively like evolution, like quickly explained, right? It's small changes leading up to larger changes, and then eventually you get like a different species, and then they can't interbreed, right? This is something that we observe in nature, wolf to dog. This is something that we did over the last 200,000 or so years, right? Like this is something that we know we did.
Yeah, we did. An intelligent person did that.
This is that means that process is possible.
Does it?
Evidence that process is, even if you reject everything else and you accept wolf to dog in your position, that's evidence to you that can change over time. Even if you reject it as a whole, that is still evidence that can change over time. So do you at least acknowledge that there's a possibility that evolution could be true?
Definitely.
Well, I mean, if you're talking big change evolution, no, I don't. But that's just me. I'm nobody. Who cares what I think?
The big change, though, is just a lot of small changes, right? A lot of small changes leads up to a big change, right? But
cause and effect.
There wasn't just stuff on land with lungs, right? It was like flatworms and several different other things, and then you get like fish, and then you get amphibians. The early amphibians, hang on one second, had lungs and right, and so they were able to go on land, and they were feeble on land, right? They didn't have a skeletal structure to support them on land very well, right? And then, like, it's a bunch of small changes. Like, it's not just something that happens overnight. This is happening over millions and billions of years, depending on the change from whatever species you're looking at,
Right,
right?
but we'd have to guess once it's out of the realm of our reality, right? Like once it's not.
No, we were able to change wolf to dog in what was that, like 200,000 years?
Yeah, but I mean, what's the huge?
That's not even a million years.
I mean, think about it. Wolves and dogs, I mean, they're pretty much like
a billion years is 1,000 million years, and I think it was like 3.5 or so that we got the first DNA forming from abiogenesis, something like that. 3.5, I believe.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is 3.5 billion years. I mean, that is way out of the realm of our like we, that has to be made up, right? Like somebody just guessed and said, hey, this is what we think happened. And maybe they're right. I don't know. I'm not saying whether they're right or wrong, but I mean, that's just so long ago. So, how could we possibly know?
Like 15,000 times longer. I think if I did the math right in my head, something like 15,000 times longer of a time frame from wolf to dog. You don't think that all these other small changes could have occurred from a initial DNA formed through chemical reactions?
Do Definitely. I think possibly, but that's the thing.
I wouldn't doubt it in the least, to be honest with you.
You have to guess.
Like you got to look at it as a Christian or a biblical person.
I don't have to, no.
No, but if you do, I can say that if you look at Genesis and it says that the Spirit of the Lord was upon the face of the waters, well, it doesn't tell you how long he's been there.
That's the faith part. That's all I'm saying, is that's where my faith comes in.
Oh, I believe no problem. I believe
that
a
person, a person made this stuff. Like, not every single thing. Obviously, we started making each other. But
no, I don't know.
But I mean, Adam and Eve and creation.
I think we concluded it than we made it.
That's what I'm saying, is this is all here. We have, we're just looking at it and going, okay, well, this is what we think, and we can take it apart and cut it up and do all the tests we want to. But this stuff came from somewhere, and if we're saying that it's a scientific fact that evolution is true, I mean, somebody needed to be there. To actually say it's a fact. I mean,
the only thing we can prove about God, and I can truly say this is all we can prove about God, is the creation set before us. And if the creation set before us is made up of different kinds of chemistries that react to one another, well, there's obviously going to be a cause and an effect.
Right. And then the God that you choose is up to you. Right?
Well,
you don't even have to. You can go with whatever you want.
Well, if
right,
the case
today.
is that I was born in the United States and I follow a Christian God, that's one thing. But what if I was born in the Middle East? Would I be following Allah?
That would
What's the
suck.
difference?
Probably so.
That would suck, right? There's
Well,
lots of
what's
people
the
that do.
difference?
What do
So
you
there's a
mean? What's
cause
the
and
difference?
effect then, right?
Totally huge difference.
I mean, that's different than like a physical cause, but I mean, it's kind of a physical cause. But yeah, I mean,
Well, in a matter of thinking,
generally,
but
like
yeah,
I
I
grew
see
up
where you're
a
coming from. The
Christian
reaction of
because
chemicals.
I grew up a Christian because my family was Christian, or my family was Christian, right? Most of them, or I think all my family for the most part is Christian, but I don't know for everybody, but most of them are. And like that's what I grew up around. I just thought it was true growing up, right? And then I started to learn more and about the sciences and philosophy, and I realized it just didn't align with the world that we actually live in, right? But the evolution thing, and I'm not trying to get into debate about evolution, but I just feel like it's really disingenuous to say evolution is not true when we have the appearance of an old Earth and over 200,000 years you acknowledge the wolf to dog, and it's like 15. I think if I did the math right, like 15,000 times longer. Um, there's a lot that could happen over those 15,000 year time spans, you know.
Totally
A
agree.
lot of micro changes.
But see,
Right.
the
Totally
human or the wolf to dog thing was a human intervention, you know. So we can't say, right?
It
'Cause
doesn't
there
matter
was there
that
a human there to intervene.
it doesn't. No. But that doesn't matter. It's guided by the environment, right? And so, but even if you're saying it's a human doing it, you would say that the human in that situation is the environment guiding it, right? And so, which isn't exactly the case, but even if you
That's a good
did,
way out of it, though.
well,
Actually,
no, it's not a good way out of it, because that would still be an example of it being able to occur in the environment for you, right?
right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it is literally
Through natural
in
processes.
science.
There's no
Human
supernatural
is
processes involved in that.
right.
Well, there's unexplainable ones though.
Well, there's an imagination. Is that supernatural?
Oh,
And or creativity? Well, I mean,
oh.
it's an idea. It's something that's not real, right? It's something in your mind that you can't touch.
Well,
it's not understood.
It's
People
a
like Tesla
supervenient
could.
relationship, if I'm saying that right, which is like it's a product of the various parts of the mind doing the mind stuff. It's still technically physical because it's the mind, it's the body and brain doing stuff, right? It's still physical, but there's not like an alternative realm where it exists, if that's what you're asking. So, because you asked if it was supernatural, there's not like some other realm where it exists, like the spirits you were describing.
Right. Yeah. Well, see, I think that there's like an ether, right? Like that. And it's just what I think. I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
Are you a flat earther?
No. Yes. What the hell? How did you know from that?
I guess that's biblical.
How did you know from that?
Because they go hand in hand.
No, for real though. I would never. That's weird. That's pretty cool though.
It's just the same. It's just the same belief system, right?
No, but I mean, I base mine on the telephone and how the telephone was invented, and a bunch of people came up with that idea at the same time. You know, maybe they stole it from each other. I don't know, but it was just like weird. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, you know? But Tesla said his ideas and inner thoughts, he could actually touch them and move them around and look at them and pull them apart and stuff. Not literally in a physical world, but he could, in his mind, pull things apart and put them together. You know, that's how he figured out.
So you think that space is the quote unquote the luminiferous
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that.
Stuff
please.
Travels through.
I don't want to get into the flat Earth stuff, please. Okay, are you talking about physical space? Yeah, like thoughts and stuff. I don't really know. I don't know. I haven't thought about it that much, but I find it kind of weird that people have like the same ideas at the same time. It's just kind of weird, you know.
Like so the Michelson-Morley experiment, and I know you're a science denier based on this conversation. So maybe you accept this type of science. And you're flat Earth, right? That you're denying a lot of the sciences to get to that.
Why'd you have to ask me that?
But the Michelson-Morley experiment actually showed that the ether likely doesn't exist, and I mean we've pretty much disproven it since. I mean, science doesn't really disprove stuff, but I mean at this point it's pretty much a no-go, right? Based on what we know about the sciences. Although you probably don't think we've been to the moon either, right?
Science doesn't disprove stuff. Why? How?
Do you think we've been to the moon?
I have no idea. Do I think? No. Why is that even important though? Like obviously if I'm leaning in flat Earth, I'm definitely not going to the moon, right? Like that's pretty obvious. That I would think like that, So but I'm just a person online. I'm literally nobody. So it shouldn't matter.
So do you think the government is like lying to us?
No, I do not. I love the government.
So you don't think we've been to the moon? So
I think NASA is lying, yeah.
NASA is a part of the government.
No, it's not.
What?
NASA's literally a part of the government.
They're funded by the government. Funded.
It's literally a branch of the government.
Okay. Well, either way,
it's like saying that.
And the government isn't an entity. It's a system. It can't be. It can't lie.
But that's right? like saying that the army isn't a part of the government.
Is it? Is it like saying that? Are you sure?
Yeah. NASA is a branch of the government,
think so.
Just like the army is a branch of the government.
They're both regulated. Yep.
Okay, well, I mean, either way, does it matter? I'm not fighting with you about the flat Earth. I'm just not.
I'm not fighting about it. I'm not going to be able.
We're going back and forth about the stupid. NASA
I'm not going to be able to
convince
you of any of this stuff based on the way this conversation is going. I'm more interested as to knowing what you think the reason is that the government and NASA have said that we're going to that we've been to the moon and that China just went to the moon again and we're in space and we have
I love the government
space program
government.
Yeah, hopefully it gets better here in a few years, but with that being said, so why do you like what's the thought process of that goes through your mind when you see that we've been to the moon and we went to the moon recently? Not us, China went to the moon recently.
Oh, what China's doing? I have no idea what they're doing. I don't know. But when I see stories about us going, it hurts my feelings. It breaks my heart. That's it. Like, people are stupid. What are you gonna do? Maybe I'm the stupid one. I don't know. But that's what I feel.
So you think they're all lying to us?
They're all. What do you mean by they're all?
Do you think we're being lied to by
NASA.
The people saying that we went to the moon?
Yeah. Can we just China? Not? Because I'm gonna leave. I don't want to talk about NASA. Please. Like, this isn't like
China's not NASA. China's not related to NASA.
I don't want to talk about the flat Earth shit. Like, I'm
not talking about flat Earth shit. There's non-flat Earthers that think we didn't go to the moon.
Okay, well, thank you. This was fun. Okay, thank you.